Hey y'all, it's Mandy, and this week's video is going to be like real life, y'all. I just left school. It's been a really busy week so far. I've had meetings. I've been with the tiny humans all day, and I'm just gonna be honest. I don't even know what's for dinner tonight. I did lay out a couple chicken breasts that I had from that butcher box. It was in my freezer. I don't have much else because I cleaned everything out before the holidays so that I'd have room for all the Thanksgiving things. And so I am literally just on my way home from work. I am sitting here in my Walmart and I'm going to figure out something to go with my chicken for dinner tonight. And I want it to be as simple as possible, as cheap as possible, and I really don't want a lot of cleanup. So my brain's going to sheet pan meal. So like I said, y'all, this is real life. It doesn't get much realer than this because I am planning dinner on my way home. For real. So let's see what we can do in Walmart. Y'all, I'm keeping it real. Gotta get me some caffeine. Here we go. Okay, so I am back from Walmart, and this is what I've got going on. I started out in the produce section. I saw these sweet potatoes, and it looked like a good deal. So I started thinking fall harvest sheet pan idea going on. And so I thought the sweet potato, a red onion will give it some spicy, flavor. Then I thought an apple will be good in there, and then some broccoli florets. So yes, I use this butcher box chicken, but I will insert a clip here about the chicken in just a minute. But the broccoli florets were $1. This sweet potato was 79 cents. This onion was 52 cents. And this apple was 76 cents. So without the chicken, this was only $2.07. So I am going to be using some spices and oils and things that I have on hand. But I wanted to talk to you about the chicken. This recipe calls for about 1.5 pounds. And so I did price out some frozen chicken breasts at Walmart that you wouldn't have to use the whole bag. And so when I saw that, it was like $5.94 maybe. So I will insert that clip here so you can see that. So even if you use half of that bag, this is still around a $5 meal. It's a sheet pan meal. So the first thing I need to do is get my potato peeled so I can get that in the oven. I'm gonna start my veggies first, not my broccoli, because I don't want it to get mushy. But these veggies, I'm gonna put them in the oven first for about 20 minutes while I'm prepping my chicken, and then we'll put the chicken and the broccoli on. So stay tuned. So here's that 3-pound bag of chicken breasts frozen. It's only $5.94. So I've got my one sweet potato peeled and cubed. I've got my one Pink Lady apple. I did not peel it. I just washed it and cubed it. About 3/4 of that red onion. I didn't want to get too overpowering. And I'm going to mix up some kind of little dressing here. So, let's see. I've got some of this stone ground mustard. I don't use it very often if it's in my fridge. I just put a little bit in the bottom of this bowl. I'm going to have a little bit of this honey. I'm going to add a little bit of that. Let's see. So a little bit of honey. And then I'm going to whisk that, but I'm going to drizzle in some extra virgin olive oil. A little bit of that. I'm just going to kind of whisk it until I get it consistency that I want. It needs a little bit more oil. So I'm just going to whisk that. Whisk. The honey makes it really thick, so I don't want it to be too terribly thick. So I'm just going to keep drizzling some olive oil in there, and I'm going to save a little bit of it anyway to put on my chicken. And I guess you could call this some sort of a glaze. I don't know. Still think it's a little thick. And so, yeah, that feels much better. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my sheet pan ready. Got my oven preheated to 400 degrees. Now I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil down on the bottom anyways because I just don't want this to stick. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my food mover. Yes, I love this thing. There's a link to this for Amazon. You can get it pretty reasonably. I want to say 10 bucks. I'll leave that down in the description box below if you're interested in taking a look at it. It does make things a lot easier. So let's just get all these veggies in here. I'm gonna let the veggies go for about 20 minutes more, or 20 minutes, yeah, before I even put the chicken and the broccoli on. So just got that there like that. And I am gonna add a little salt and pepper just to bring out the flavor of those veggies. And okay. All right, so now I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and drizzle it. This. I'll save a little bit. And then I'm just gonna take a spoon here, give it a little zhuzh so everything gets the same seasonings. A good mix here. I want the flavors of the onions and the apples and the sweet potatoes to all come together. So I just want to make sure that I've got everything mixed really good. Let's get some of those onions spread around. And just give it a single layer here to start with. And so I'm going to put this, that looks pretty good, into a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes. And then we'll come back and we'll work on the chicken. All right, got my vegetables in. Now I'm gonna work on a dry rub for the chicken. So I'm gonna put a little brown sugar, a little garlic powder, I think I'm gonna wait on the onion powder because I do have all that onion in the veggies. I'm gonna put a little pepper, a little salt, and I'm just gonna give that a little mix. So here's what I'm gonna do with my chicken. Let's see. Now the thing about this butcher box chicken is it is, oh yeah, this is like 2.83 pounds, so I'm only gonna use these two breasts. But it is organic, free-range chicken. So, boneless, skinless, very delicious and healthy. So, I'm going to get this chicken prepped. So, I am going to rinse my chicken and pat it dry. That dry. I've gotten some comments in the past. Some people are very passionate about how you clean your chicken. I've always washed it and pat it dry, but I guess some people just want to see it on film. So there's my chicken. I'm going to take this rub, put half of it on the top. I'm going to kind of zhuzh it around. Pat it in really good. I am going to still be putting that other like glaze on there once I put it in the oven, but this is just to give it kind of that dry rub feel. I don't know, a little sweetness. All right, so now I'm going to take the rest of my dry rub, put that in there, and do the same thing. And then my chicken's just going to hang out till the veggies have went 20 minutes. And then we will put the finishing touches on and get this in the oven. All right, so stick around, see what happens next. All right, so my veggies have gone for about 20 minutes. The timer just went off, so I'm gonna spread those around. They're not quite as tender as I want them to be. They will definitely be there by the time the chicken's done. So I'm going to just kind of make a little place here. And I'm going to I'm going to wait on the chicken. Let's see. I don't want to get my hands all yet. So I'm going to take a pair of tongs. Got that chicken with that rub on it. I'm going to just put it here. And I'll deal with the glaze in a minute. I'm going to take this broccoli and sprinkle it around like this. I'm going to spread it around. I don't want it on the chicken. I'm just going to spread it around a little bit. And then I'm going to pour what's a little bit left of this glaze concoction that I came up with. I'm going to pour that on the chicken. I'll put this back in that 400-degree oven for about 20 more minutes. All right, so I'm going to put it in the oven and then we'll see how it turns out. 20 minutes. So here is our chicken and veggie sheet pan meal out of the oven. I'm just going to let that rest for a minute. I had the chicken in there with the broccoli, with the sweet potatoes and apples and onions that had already been in the oven for 20 minutes. Then I added the chicken and the broccoli to that, covered it with that honey Dijon, well, it wasn't even Dijon, honey mustard glaze that I've made. And we put that in the oven for another 20 minutes. And then after that 20 minutes, I let it sit under the broiler for about 4 minutes just to get some crispy bits on it. So I'm gonna let this rest for a few minutes so the chicken can redistribute its juices, and then I'm gonna plate it up and show you what it looks like. After a few minutes, I sliced these chicken breasts into strips, and I'm gonna tell y'all, this was the most delicious thing I've made in a long time. I was so surprised. And to think that it came from an idea on the way home from work. This is delicious. You should definitely try it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.